Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be solving an exponential equation. We have 9 to the power x equals 4 to the power x plus 6 to the power x. And we're going to be looking for x values. We've done similar problems before. If I can find the link, I'll share them with you. So to solve these kinds of equations, one of the things that I want you to pay attention to is the fact that these numbers are not random. So if you multiply, for example, 4 and 9 together, 4 times 9 gives you 36, which is 6 squared. Great, so let's see how that plays out. Since 9 to the power x has the largest base, I'm going to go ahead and divide everything by 9 to the power x. Now, 9 to the power x divided by itself is going to be 1. Now 4 to the power x divided by 9 to the power x can be written as 4 over 9 to the power x by using properties of exponents. So when you have a to the n divided by b to the n, you can write it as a over b to the power n. Great. We're going to use the same property one more time and write this as 6 over 9 to the power x. Awesome. Now before we start solving it by using substitution, let's go ahead and simplify this a little bit. 6 9ths, 6 and 9 are both divisible by 3, so 6 over 9 can be written as 2/3. So let's go ahead and write it that way and then put the right hand side on the left hand side and vice versa. So this gives us 4 over 9 to the power x plus 2 over 3 after simplifying the fraction to the power x equals 1. Looks good enough? We're going to simplify a little bit more. Now notice that I told you something at the beginning, right? 9 times 4 is 36, and that happens to be 6 squared, right? So those numbers are related, and you can write basically 4 9ths as 2/3 squared. Okay. So now if you go ahead and write the 4 9ths to the power x as 2/3 squared to the power x, but that can be written as 2/3 to the power 2x or 2/3 to the power x squared, right? In other words, if you have a to the power m to the power n, it can be written as a to the power mn or a to the power n to the power m, because this is a to the power nm, which is the same as mn. Okay, does that make sense? So in other words, you can switch these exponents around because they are being multiplied. Great, so now if you go ahead and substitute that here, we get the following. 2 over 3 to the power x squared, let's use brackets here, plus 2/3 to the power x equals 1. Now, 2/3 to the power x needs to equal something. That's where we use the substitution. So let's go ahead and set this equal to something. How about y? Okay, you can use any variable you want. So then our first term is going to be y squared. So we get y squared minus plus y equals 1. And obviously, this is a quadratic equation, so I want to put everything on the same side. Y squared plus y minus 1 equals 0, and just solve this quadratic equation. This quadratic equation has interesting roots because one of the roots is very interesting. Okay, anyways, so let's go ahead and find the solutions. Y equals negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, but that's just going to be 5 from the quadratic formula divided by 2. Now this splits up into two solutions. So we can kind of say y sub 1 is negative 1 plus root 5 over 2, and y sub 2 is negative 1 minus root 5 over 2. So what about two solutions? Does this mean our equation has two solutions? More than two solutions maybe? Let's go ahead and check it out. So here's what we're going to check. Our original equation was given with a certain domain, obviously, right? Can x be anything? Yes, these are exponential functions, so x can be anything. But that doesn't mean 2/3 to the power x can be anything. So in other words, y cannot be everything. Why? Well, it's kind of weird that we're talking about y. because 2 over 3 to the power x is always a positive quantity, therefore it can't be negative, right? It can't even be 0. It can only approach 0 if x approaches infinity, but that's a limit and that's something else. So, in other words, our y value needs to be positive. Y needs to be positive. Why am I saying that? Because negative 1 minus root 5 over 2 is less than 0. Obviously, right? Because, come on, you're subtracting a positive number from a negative number. It's getting even smaller. So y2 is not acceptable. So we're going to go with y sub 1. And is that okay? Yes, because it's positive. How do I know that? Square root of 5 is greater than 1. So we're going to use y equals negative 1 plus square root of 5 over 2. And that's supposed to equal 2 over 3 to the power x. This is the most fun part. We're going to solve for x, so we're going to bring down the exponent. Let's ln both sides. I know some people say, you can't say ln both sides. Yes, you can. Why not? You know, anybody can say that. You don't have to say the natural logarithm or blah, blah, blah. It's too long. Anyways, so we can go ahead and bring this x to the front. And now we got x times ln 2/3 equals ln square root of 5 minus 1 over 2. And finally, if you divide both sides by ln 2/3, you get the solution, the only solution to this equation. All right? And this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Until then, be safe, take care, watch the shorts, and bye-bye.